One's a kind of vacuum, one's a kind of heater, and one's a kind of, well, it applies vibration. HYPOXI, VelaShape, Vibratone and even hypnotherapy are the latest trends in weight loss.
Ah, but do they really work? Good Health editor Catherine Marshall is here with the brutal truth. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning to you both.
It sounds scary.
Too good to be true.
No,
it's not scary. No, it's not scary, actually. It's absolutely fabulous, really fabulous. So should I start with HYPOXI?
Why not?
HYPOXI,
which you personally...
Yes, I have personally tried HYPOXI. Now, HYPOXI was used in hospitals in Austria to rehab patients, and then the doctor, Dr. Eger, discovered that as a form of rehab, the patients also lost weight. So then it sort of transformed into a weight loss machine. So it targets fat. It targets reshaping your body. It also gets rid of cellulite, and it's just generally speaking an absolutely wonderful machine.
What are you doing?
Oh yeah,
yes.
okay, here it is here. What happens inside?
Oh, I see.
Oh.
Well, what you do, you light, it's an ergometer with a vacuum. So you get dressed in a funny little skirt, you hop into the machine and you start pedalling. The pedalling's not too arduous. You're pedalling lying down, actually, so it's not too difficult. You get a bit warm, and the vacuum's applied through this skirt that you're wearing. You get a bit of, vacuum pressure on you. And after 6 to 8 to 12 treatments, your fat has miraculously evaporated.
Where does it go?
It just goes out into the ether. But it actually really does work.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Because the heat, what happens is that why women have trouble losing weight on their sort of stomachs, thighs and bottoms is that there's not enough circulation. So this machine actually encourages blood flow to that area, and with gentle exercise it actually dispels the fat cells.
So are you actually losing weight, or are you just
No,
moving
you're reshaping. You're reshaping, yeah. Well, I mean, some people do lose weight. I didn't lose much weight on it, but you actually reshape your body.
And
see, I still don't get it. When you say you're wearing a skirt, what sort of a skirt
well, no,
are you wearing?
it's not a skirt. It's like a tube, a sort of rubber tube that clicks into the machine. It's all very hi-fi,
and it sort of sucks on your skin.
No, it doesn't actually suck. It just compresses gently, so you don't actually... So you just feel a bit of a compression. And that's actually, warming up the area, increasing the circulation to the area so that then the fat cells disperse.
And you've been reshaped?
Yes. Yes.
So you'd swear by it?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I've lost 28 centimetres, yeah.
Wow. So how often do you have to go before you see results, and how much is it?
It's $65 a session. You can buy packages, and they recommend actually 12 sessions. But you would start noticing a difference probably after the 4th, 5th session. I've encouraged a lot of my friends to go. They're disbelieving like you at first, and then they go and they say, oh, yeah, it works.
All right, OK, so you're giving that one a tick.
Yeah, that one's got my seal of approval.
All right,
what about
let's move on.
Vibratone, Vibrabody?
Well, Vibratone is for people that don't like exercise, I reckon. I was one of those originally.
Well, the last one, HYPOXI, looks like you're not doing too much physically,
No, you're not. Well, you're cycling a little bit.
OK.
So you are actually exerting some gentle form of exercise. Right. This Vibratone, you exercise on it, or you could just stand there if you wanted, and it actually vibrates, so it moves your muscles.
It shakes your bits.
Yeah, that's right. 30 to 50 seconds and 30 to 50 times per second. So after you've done
how vigorously are you?
No, you can actually adjust the settings. The settings can be adjusted.
So you can go a little buzz or a big buzz?
Yes, you can go big workout or little workout.
What's the idea behind it? Because, just by kind of, standing on one foot or laying on your back, I don't understand how that...
Well, it just increases the intensity of the exercise. What they say is that you exercise for 15 minutes on the Vibratone, and it's the equivalent of doing an hour and 15 minutes on your own. So it's an adjunct. It really sort of helps you along. And it stimulates your muscles. So it's really, I think, very good for people who don't particularly want to spend an hour and a half in the gym.
And have you tried that one?
Yes.
And you reckon that?
Yes, I reckon, yes.
Can you get that as an item of home equipment, or do you have to go somewhere?
No, you can. It's best if you go somewhere where there's a sort of trainer that can set it for you and tell you what to do.
And do all the right thing. All right, now the...
VelaShape.
Yes, the Vela or the VelaShape?
VelaShape. It's the upgrade from the VelaSmooth. What it does, it targets cellulite. So it's a machine that it works on a radio frequency, an infrared light and a vacuum. And it's a bit the same, I suppose, principle as HYPOXI. It goes and targets and puts heat on the fat areas, and it sort of you know, it rolls, it picks up the rolls of fat and rolls them around and sort of disperses them. Sounds awful, doesn't it?
So the
it
idea...
sounds absolutely terrible, but it actually does roll around and sort of roll the fat around and
so what is it, breaking up
Yes, it's breaking up the fibrous tissue that cause sort of cellulite and that dimpled skin appearance.
But the fat remains in the system, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So you're not actually...
But it breaks up, so the skin looks smoother.
OK, so you're not losing weight
No, you don't lose weight with this machine, no.
OK.
No. You're not losing any weight at all.
All right.
But see, a lot of quite slender women have
cellulite yes,
as well.
Absolutely. So that's very good. It is a slightly painful treatment.
Oh.
It's not, well, it feels like it's pinching.
Oh. Oh, there you go.
But, I mean, I guess if you've got cellulite, you don't mind being pinched. I suppose you don't really mind being pinched.
Now, also, hypnotherapy is being used as a weight...
Yes,
and you've tried this as well?
Yes, I think hypnotherapy is the secret sort of weapon in weight loss. You see, I think a lot of people, you know, try to lose weight and then they just don't get it together because they're... For instance, there's a piece of cake there and your conscious mind says, well, I'm on a diet or I don't want to put weight on, so I won't have it. And then in the back of your mind and your subconscious mind, there's all these negative, maybe perhaps patterns or thought patterns saying, oh, you know, my mother didn't love me as a child, you know, I was a nerd at school, whatever, so I'm having the chocolate cake. So this battle goes on backwards and forwards. When you have the subconscious on board, it becomes a lot easier. Now, if I can reassure your viewers that hypnotherapy is not like the circus hypnotherapy, you know, when people used to swing a fob watch in front of you and...
Or they make you eat an onion or something.
Or made you do things against your will. No, it's like a deep state of relaxation. It's a bit like that state before you know, before you wake up, you know, when you're in a bit of a sort of twilight zone where you're just not quite awake. And a skilled hypnotherapist puts suggestions into your mind and they negate all these negative beliefs you might have, you know, about yourself. And
what suggestions... What suggestions were implanted or offered to you?
Implanted to me was I didn't have to eat everything I saw, that it was actually perfectly all right to... basically, the major thing that was implanted into me was to only eat when I was hungry. And that's what happens to a lot of people. They eat for, you know, emotional reasons, or they eat because they're bored, or because...
Or even socially sometimes.
Or socially. And with hypnotherapy, the therapist really planted that idea that really... you were to listen to your body, and that's what a skilled hypnotherapist would do, so that you only actually eat when you're hungry. Because a lot of us have lost the mind-body connection. You know, we eat for all sorts of reasons, but we don't eat because we're hungry.
And so that hypnotherapy is a lasting treatment?
Yeah, most hypnotherapists would give you 5 sessions, perhaps, to just establish what the problem is and then take you through 5 sessions. And then I think it's probably good to go back once a year or once every 6 months just for a top-up. Yes. Although most of them will give you a tape that you can have at home.
Of course, yes.
That you can listen to.
Yeah.
Yes. I'd love to talk to you about detoxing and what you think of that, but we're nearly out of time. Perhaps we can come back and talk about it another time.
I'd love to come back and talk to you.
Yes, and see whether it's actually good for our bodies.
Yes. So, ultimately, just before we go, your recommendations?
My favourite recommendation is HYPOXI for those who really want to reshape, and then perhaps the Vibratone. But I have to say also that all this has to be done with a sensible diet. There's no point knocking off the packet of Tim Tams, hopping into the HYPOXI machine and hoping for a minor miracle. Yeah. You know, you really need to sensible diet, a bit of exercise. But HYPOXI really for people who want to change shapes and who want to smooth and get rid of cellulite, I think it's absolutely fabulous.
All right, good to talk to you, Catherine.
Thanks, Catherine.
Right, time now to catch up with Marianne.